Guru Kripa Kevalam. Namaste and welcome everyone to Satsang today. Sadguru Sri Moji Baba ki Jai. Do a quick experiment if you all want. That quick experiment is hopefully going to be quite potent. Too, because all of us seem to struggle with self-discovery, self-recognition, finding who is the self. So let's see if, but there's one condition. You all have to do it very innocently. Don't be smart about it at all. It doesn't need any education, no background, no spirituality, nothing. Just simple, open. So the experiment is this. In this very moment, what is here which is beyond your perceptions? Is that not apparent to you? Don't think, don't think, don't try to use your mind to help you. Just, are your perceptions all there is? Is there something beyond them? The one that is aware of them. That is not a perception. And yet you can confirm that it is I. So this recognition is self-recognition. Like that. That's simple. Is it? So if we go seeking in the wrong directions, if you go seeking in the realm of perception, what will you find? Will you find yourself? You're looking for that which is the most primal, the greatest, prior to all things arising, independent of what may be coming up or not coming up. So, do you need to make a move of any sort? Is it even about your attention? Is it that if attention is outward, is it, you are not aware that you are aware? Okay, it's not confusing. Your mind will get in the way. Well, even when attention is on perception, eyes are open, you are aware that it is you that is aware of these perceptions. You're just naturally and simply aware of this. So it does not need even your attention to go anywhere. Although if it seems natural for eyes to close and for us attention to get withdrawn in that, it is fine. I'm not saying you must not do that. I'm only saying that your recognition is independent of even that. Yes? Now, even if you say that there is nothing there, even if you say, but actually there is nothing there, then who is aware of that? Is that not the same no-thingness, which is even reporting or even confirming that there is nothing there? You see? Or are you something in the realm of perceptions which is looking somewhere into this vast nothingness and saying, that's me. There's nothing there. You see? That could be sometimes your mind's version of this. Your mind could have made a version like this, saying that this is what is happening, that you are just this body mind who is now looking into an infinite abyss, saying, that's what I really am. It's not like that. It's not like that. You are aware of your perception. That you cannot perceive. You see? So is it a promise now that you will not look at it as if it is an object of perception? It's a deal we made. No? Was this one of the main deals? Yes, should be. Who's still doing this stuff? Looking for the self as if it is going to be an experience. Okay, thank you for your honesty. So the reinforcement, and sometimes I realize the reinforcement is needed, maybe week after week like this, is to really get this in, really get this in, that the self will not just be another objective experience. It cannot be, you see. If the self was another objective experience, then the sages have told us that everything that you perceive will come and go. Therefore, the self will also. See? So, those who are still doing that, stop it. You see, I don't know how else to say it. Yes, stop it. If it is the self that you really want and not an experience, are you looking for the self so that you can have a fantastic experience? Are you looking for the self as if it is some super LSD or something where, I don't know, apparently you get some great experiences like that? Are you looking for the self like that? Are you looking for the self because you're tired of the regular experiences of the world, regular experiences of life, and you want to escape to a different experience, like a different planet or something like that? It is not like that. It is not like that. It is beyond all experiential possibilities. It is beyond all perceptual possibilities. Because if the self was an objective experience, it would have time and space. So I could plot it on the map saying the self is located at this longitude and this latitude. This is where you have to go to get it. You see, everything in the universe has a location, isn't it? And everything that is an object in the universe, you can define through time and space. You can say length, breadth, height, duration, and this is what defines that object. So everything phenomenal, everything perceptual, you're able to locate. The self is beyond such locations because it is not in time and space, it is not in this universe. So stop looking for the self as if it is in the universe. See? The universe, in fact, is an aspect of the self, and we can debate the nature of its reality or unreality, but at best, it is an aspect of the self, you see, which is appearing within the self. See? So don't look for it as if it is the other way around. You cannot go anywhere in this realm to find yourself. It is not here. You see? Now the question is, what capacity do you have to visit outside this universe and find yourself? You see? Find the mother of the universe or the father of the universe. Because that's what you are. What capacity do you have? Can you think your way there? You cannot think your way there. Can you look with sight, hear with hearing, smell with smell, taste with taste, touch with touch? Can you do any of this to get out of the universe? Can't do. Have you seen? You can't do this stuff. With every tool that you seem to have at your disposal, you can't do it. But when you, for a moment, leave yourself empty of trying to do, or empty of grasping, is it not apparent that which is aware of this universe is I? I am aware. Is that not apparent? And if it's not you, then who is it? Who is aware of the perception of this voice? Who is perceiving? Who is aware of the perception of this voice? If it's not you, then who is it? Then you will say, it is me, but I don't know who that me is. You see? You see? So then you're trying to mix two instruments. It is me. That recognition is coming from your intuitive insight. And when you say, I don't know who that me is coming from your conceptual mind. So don't do that. Stay where you recognize it is me. It is I. Stay means don't give value to the mind. I'm deconstructing this whole play for you. Okay? I'm trying to make it very simple and digestible so you can meet yourself, if that is what you want, in a very, very direct way, without any sideshows. Okay? So this I that is aware of this voice, the perception of this voice, that is you. How do you confirm that it is you? You cannot confirm it through perception. Any of you feel like you're confirming this I-ness, isness, through your perception? And don't just say because everybody is saying no. Check for yourself. Anybody inferring, saying perceptions are there, therefore I must be perceiving them. Is it an inference? Is it an intellectual process? It's not. It feel like that? Okay, we'll just check on that. So the best antidote to that is that for inferring, for the intellect, you need time. You need time. But right now, you're hearing the click. You're hearing the click. No time. You're hearing it. So you are aware of the perception of the click before you can even think about who it is. It is so naturally known. If you had to think about it, you would say, yes, there is sound. That sound seems to be coming to through my ear, apparently, through my ears into that which is perceiving them, which is consciousness. And I am aware of this consciousness perceiving the sound, but you're not doing that. Just like this. Just like this. You're clear that it is you. A child is clear, a grown-up is clear, somebody on their deathbed is clear, everybody universally is clear. Whether you're in Satsang, it is clear. Whether you're in a dance party, it is clear. It doesn't matter what your situation is, it is clear. You see? And at that level of knowingness, which is intuitive, it is universal. Everybody knows this. Nobody says, sound? Who is aware of this sound? Unless you're using it as an inquiry, only in Advaita. So, but otherwise, I am aware. But when they look for further definition of what this I is, that is when they trip up. That is when we trip up. Who is the I that is aware? If you go for that answer to the mind, or if you go to that answer to your perceptions, no chance, forget it. You see? So can you spot that recognition where it is apparent that you are aware of this perception? In what way is it apparent? Most of you will say, but it just is. It just is apparent. You see? That just is, you see, which you feel like has no value because it's so natural and it's so organic. That is the most valuable. That just is what we call the divine insight, intuitive insight. That just like that. Before the click, before the click. If you give yourself time, then you give yourself time to think or to undertake a sort of perceptual search. So all that I actually need to say, I've said. All that I actually need to say, I've said. The rest of it is only going to be about managing doubt, managing resistance. You see, managing your attempt to try and squeeze this intuitive insight into your head and to try and stop you from doing that is most of the rest of what is going to be said. Okay? Because you will say, but how do I stay in this? How can this become permanent? Okay? All this will come from the mind, and I will say, forget it, forget it, forget it, forget it in 50 different ways. That is all that's going to happen. Then I may say, why you need to go there? God is here. God is here. Forget it. See, that's another way of saying forget. I may say anything you put after I am is a story. So chop it off. Same as saying forget it. All the pointers are about that. Resistance management. Because in your head, which is by its very nature desirous, by its very nature it is desirous. It is not it it feels like the little boy who was not invited to the party. But but how can I be sure I'm getting this? You are not. Is this it? But you don't know. You weren't there at the party. Sure, nothing. But nothing happened. How do you know? You weren't there. So all these reports that come, they're going to say it can't be that simple. Is this it? You see, there has to be something more. How can I stay like this? All of this stuff will come from the voice of that uninvited, one who cannot be brought into this insight. So, as consciousness, are you done playing with that one? And if you're done playing with that one, then it can't bother you. See? How to be done playing with that one right now? That's that voice will speak one thought at a time. Your only job is to let it go. That's it. So that is intuitive insight and the end of conditioning. Those are the two aspects of spirituality. Someone new is here. Let's speak to Ashu.
Yeah. I used to listen to you previous year. A lot of times I have listened. So I was not listening this year, and just suddenly I just wanted to come and just raise hands. I don't know when did I came here. I don't know. Yeah, I just wanted to be here to show myself. That's it.
Good, good, good. So let's see if we can meet what we've been saying together. Now you're hearing these words, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. That one that is aware of the hearing of these words, can that one be perceived?
It's just everything is perceived. That's it. Everything. My nervousness and is coming by itself.
Yeah.
You're saying, I'm saying,
Yeah.
energy comes, fear energy comes,
Yeah.
happy energy comes, and I-ness, I am vibration is
Yeah.
there. It's just there, and then
Very
it
good.
merged with things, story, and
Very good. So all this can be perceived.
yeah,
And the I, you see, you said very beautifully that even the primordial vibration of I amness, you see, you are aware of. No, you're not reporting from second hand information or from a book. You're speaking pretty live. No? You're
mhm,
speaking live. You're saying that even this vibration, I am aware of it. So
mhm.
that I, which is aware even of this vibration, you see, can that be perceived?
No, it
That
cannot be perceived. It is always present, always just like that.
yes, yes, yes. Very
Every-
good.
It's
Always just like that. Always just like that. And this we can say only because we have to communicate in some way. No? You're in a way pointing to what your direct insight is. So I'm enjoying that conversation. So this I is you, isn't it? Is there
yeah,
any doubt about that?
no,
So no quality except the we may say that it is
just
aware. Is it?
just seeingness, just knowingness,
Yes,
just
no,
the
yes,
nothing else. Transparent.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah,
Now that one, what has happened to that one?
nothing. Just seeing. Nothing happens. You cannot even know it is there.
Yes,
Whatever is there, it is perceived. Everything merge there and there, starts from there.
yes.
Everything appear in there, merge in there, like that's it.
And even this is just communication, isn't it? Because it's not actually like that, no?
Yeah.
Not actually like that. But we only have to use some words to say, you see, how to explain a process which is beyond time and space. Because a language is constructed only for time and space, so we have to use things like that where we say it emerges out of, it dissolves back into. But all of this is just language, and we use that to somewhat point to the directness of the insight that we are having, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is empty of even these constructs. Okay? This is so empty of even these constructs. So now, if we did not use consciousness's ability to identify, you see,
Hmm?
which is the ability it uses in a combination of attention and belief, you see,
Mhm.
then could you suffer? Could you have any trouble? Could you have any misidentification? Or could you be grasping for something? Could you have a lack of something? What is your insight about that?
This will be just nothing, just like empty room. That's it. Uh, but when the energy comes, energy sometimes it's not mind, like in the form of thought, it comes in the form of maybe just energy, or I have fear of losing someone which I love, or I have fear energy, it comes and just play around and just leave the room after a few minutes.
Yeah.
But if you, yeah, sometime identification happens by itself, like it's in the energy, it's not in the form of thoughts, in the energy itself, it's there, like subconsciously.
Yes. Yes. So,
We cannot do anything for, it seems we cannot do anything. You just only ways to just be it, observe. I think what I just,
yes, yes, yes. Let's look at this deeply today. This is very important. So, you say that what will happen sometimes is that the identification happens energetically, where I actually can't do anything about that. No? Now, this I is which one? Is it the one that we have noticed just now, we have recognized just now, which is untouched by all of this, whether it is energy or whether it is empty space? That one remains untouched.
hmm,
Then we call the sense of being as I. We say,
hmm,
this is also I. No? I woke up. See, I am here. So we use that I am also as I. Now, this I am is what we also fondly call God, consciousness,
mm,
all there is. You see? Now, this I am, from your observation, see if you can notice if it can be forced into identification without its permission.
you mean the real I am?
The real I am, yes.
The real I am is not possible. It just look and it just. But the problem sometimes
We'll
arise when
come to
like
that.
body.
We'll come to that. So let's go really slowly. So we deconstruct this because I know many of them here will have this kind of question. And I've been asked this many times over the last few years. No? So you said beautifully, the real I am cannot be forced, it's just being.
Mhm,
And then in the light of being, if I may paraphrase to what you said, in the light of being, all these experiences are perceived. So it is unthinkable, unimaginable that this I amness could be held hostage by some energy or some thought or whatever may appear. You see, for the real I am. Now, we've already said the real I am. See? Now, there is no other false I am that is actually there.
mhm,
There is no, the false I am doesn't actually exist. It is just a belief in the real I am itself.
mm. Yeah.
Is it? So
Yeah.
just like right now, you may imagine or believe yourself to be something else, and you as consciousness has full capability, full power to do that. You see, so you may imagine the existence of something and make it seem real with the power of your identification and belief. But in that, you can never be in reality anything other than this real I am.
Mhm, mhm,
You see? So you may imagine yourself to be something which is tiny or small so that an energy can seem meaningful or strong enough for it,
mm,
that you encounter something which is so large that is like a irresistible force that you have no choice.
mhm,
So but that we are somewhere inserting something which is limited because no energy is unlimited. You see?
yeah.
So for something to be strong or something to be so powerful that it forces us to be a certain way or to identify, then that must be strong enough to make consciousness bend to its will.
Mhm,
You see? And that cannot happen.
mhm,
That cannot happen. So, like Guruji said one time very beautifully, he said, nothing in the world has inherent meaning. Okay? Nothing in the world has inherent meaning. Everything is the perspective that we bring to it.
mm.
You see?
Yeah.
So the mind plays this trump card, and you can observe with me, and I'm
Yeah.
open. We
Yeah.
have an open
Absolutely.
conversation. So the mind plays this trump card, and it says, all these masters, all these masters. You see? Bhagwan said, if you have to make one choice, make that choice of not entering the stream of your thoughts.
Mm,
Huh? Then Papaji said, keep quiet, don't identify for one moment, keep quiet. You see? So again saying, don't
mm,
believe your thought. You see? Then Guruji says, don't identify. Don't
yeah.
identify. You see? Let these thoughts come and go. You don't identify. You see?
Mm,
And then I keep saying, don't believe your next thought. Don't believe your next thought. Be open and empty. Let go. All these things. So the mind says, okay, now all these people are after these thoughts, but they don't speak about energy.
mm,
They don't speak about energy. And your problem actually is energetic.
mm,
Because this energy comes, sometimes, and it
mm,
is so big, you don't have a choice. You have to believe it. But
mm,
what you have to notice in this is what is it calling you in that?
yeah.
The one that doesn't have a choice and has to go along is which one? The false has never existed. No, you said yourself, the real I, nothing has happened.
Mm,
The real I amness, nothing has happened. False, by definition, never existed. So, who is the one that is falling victim to this energy?
mm. It's so weird. After energy, this thought comes. Oh, I'm feeling this energy. I'm feeling. I don't like this. Like, definitely, there's so strong energy in everyone, but then thought comes after it, just after a second, and
Yes,
then it stop, and then again after a few seconds, thought comes, and then this is the belief that I am.
Yes.
this.
So it uses that appearance of perception, sensation, whatever you may call it, to say that this is how I can insert this perception in the narrative of the false one. You see? And once it's able to insert it in the narrative of the non-existent one, you see, in the protagonist of the story, you see, the protagonist of the story, which is the central character of the ego, what is called the ego. You see, then the minute it's able to insert it, then it can use this sort of vibration and say, okay, this is what this is. This is fear. This sometimes it'll say this is fear. Sometimes it'll say that is fear. Sometimes this is excitement. You see, sometimes it'll say it is enthusiasm. So based on the narrative it wants to build, you see, it can color the meaning of what is appearing. That's why Guruji's words are so potent, where he says, nothing in this universe has inherent meaning.
Mm.
It is the meaning that we give to it, and the way that we give to it is through interpretation, is through judgment.
Mm.
So you have to experiment for me and see if any shakiness, any energy, anything that you may call it, a contraction, contraction, expansion, any of this, you see, can shake your reality, your true being in any way.
If you're just here, just here, no, nothing.
Yeah. What option but you have, like what is the ifness in that?
Unless I have interest in that. Like, for example, if I have desire to maybe some just desire, maybe I don't want it to happen. Oh, but then it start to comes, new stories start to comes.
So
It's more interest.
so in the pool of conditioning, there are aspects we may have nurtured and there are aspects that we may have neglected. The
Yeah.
aspects that we have nurtured is what we call interest. You see? So for you, something may be of interest, like you may be interested in hearing this man right now, but if you were to talk to your friends and family, they will say, "Nahi, nahi, ye bakwas kisko suna hai?" Nobody want to, and many of them may not want to hear, right? So you may say, but they are not interested, and I am interested. You see? So what makes you interested? It is just that aspect which we have nurtured, and then we may feel like there is some more meaning to be found over there, some more completion to be found over there. So we feel like, okay, I can get a concept, I can get the final piece of the jigsaw puzzle, which will complete my meaning making in that aspect. You see, of that which we call interest. So, to put in a simpler way, interest is what we call we are open to an idea about something.
Mm.
You see, interest is when we are open to an idea about something. See? And lack of interest is we're not open to an idea about that. To put simply. Now, what makes us open to an idea, to a concept about something? See? What makes us open to that concept about something? Yeah, you get some sort of meaning, some sort of completion, some sort of finality, some sort of stability, some sort of resting, whatever that final end goal may seem like. You see, so it may seem like I've almost got to the peak of the mountain. Now I need the final step, the final push, which will get me to finality. So it may seem like that is in a way deconstructing interest and looking at what we call interest. Now, to discover yourself, to to see that you are aware of all of these perceptions right now. Do you need that jigsaw puzzle, that story, any idea of anything? It's pretty universal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, independent of all of that, independent of any aspect of conceptual understanding and meaning making, yourself is shining. This is shining metaphorically.
Yeah.
So remain in that apparency and don't look for any sort of conceptual end to this journey.
Mm.
Because everybody here, you could have started, this could be your first time in spirituality, or you could have been in various forms of satsangs with various masters for 50 years. As long as you're trying to come to an intellectual completion or a conceptual completion, you will keep running on that treadmill. See, so I'm trying to get you off it while it doesn't seem like it's been very long, at least in this lifetime. So running that treadmill is the job of the spiritual seeker. But the spiritual seeker is never the spiritual finder. It is when we let go of even the spiritual seeker that the recognition is seen to be always have been apparent. Now, what you have to remember is don't give this one a return gift. You see, because many of you will say, but it has done so much for me. It has got me into satsang. I'm in satsang because I was seeking. You see, it's done its job. Show it the pink slip and ask it to go. If you say, but it was in this so that it could have bliss, or it was in this so that it could never suffer, all of that stuff, then you're pulling yourself back in that identification. See? Now, what everyone has to be careful about is I'm saying the end of spiritual seeking, but you're not to pick up a fresh identity, saying, now let me get back to my regular life. So many people make that mistake. You see? That, I'm no longer a seeker. I'm no longer a seeker. Then you get to a fresh identity, either of that who's the finder. I found what I was looking for. I'm done. No more satsang for me. No inquiry and all this for amateurs. I found. Yeah. So that I found is which one? The fake one. You see? Then the other mode is, no, I have discovered that actually before enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. After enlightenment, chopping wood, fetching water. So now I'm back to regular life. I will do my job. I will be a husband. I will do all of that. I'm no longer a seeker. My master told me don't be a seeker anymore. So don't be a seeker anymore doesn't mean you pick up a householder identity, or you pick up a sadhu identity, or you pick up some other identity. So the master did not say that. They said the seeking identity is oppressing you and is still the ego. You see, doesn't mean that you discard it and pick up a new one. So allow yourself to remain empty. Allow yourself to remain empty. So some of these are classic Advaita traps. There are many people that I've met in my Sangha where they've been coming to Guruji for many years. Then they just feel like, no, I'm no longer the seeker now. I'm no longer the seeker now. I'm just. So but if that was not replaced by something else, then that would be absolutely fine. But you.
I'm replaced by. Sorry, I'm replaced by. I have replaced thing with I don't know. Just this is coming in my mind all day. I don't know what like this.
Yes, allow the mind not to know, because it is not. It cannot know what we are talking about. No?
Yeah.
So allow the mind to know. Welcome the I don't know from the mind. You see that even the I don't know, you are aware of that perception of that thought.
Yeah.
Are you ever lost about that? The mind is saying, I don't know, but who is aware of this mind? Who is aware? Who is aware of this mind? It's apparent I am aware. No? That's how we are reporting that my mind is saying. Okay? So this I can never be lost.
Yeah.
And this I can never be found in the mind.
Yeah.
So let the mind chant, I don't know, it's fine. Doesn't matter to us. Don't try to feed the mind some finality. Because it doesn't help.
Just sometimes mind takes the weakest link in your subconscious somehow. Yeah. For example, maybe have from previous life or from the childhood, like maybe of losing your parents or losing your the loved one. It
Sure.
just takes and just fears start to comes up, or something else. Like for example, for me, I'm young. I don't have job. I have studied master degree. I don't have job. It has. Um, for last 3 years, for 5 years, I don't have job. I don't know. It's just I'm just sitting, just looking outside. That's it. So many times, yeah, mind comes and yeah, I don't have a job. Some everybody's doing this, and then it, yeah, just sometimes I identify, sometimes I don't identify, and then it goes to space. Just nothing's there. Yeah, just yeah, it takes weakest link.
It always picks up. You see, it's like Guruji uses another metaphor, no? That he says the mind is auditioning for your attention and belief.
Mm.
Now, suppose you going to America's Got Talent or something, then how will you plan your what you're going to do on the stage? Okay? Suppose your job is to audition on America's Got Talent. How will you do it? See? Suppose you have all the skills you have, you can present any aspect of your skill. You see? Then how will you go for this audition? Oh, not so difficult. Yeah, yeah, but something you have to present, and you have all the skills. So what will you present? What I would do? Okay, so let me let me see. So because I have all the skills, I will just see the past episodes and see what the judges like. No, what the judges give most max points to, and I will present that in the audition. So that is the aspect which gets the most belief, what we already call interest. So so that weakest link, that aspect which we ourselves are a little doubtful about, that am I messing up my life? And I'm speaking from experience here, because after meeting Guruji for many months, I also was just sitting around. Just like some work was happening, but not so much, not as much as before meeting him. And the mind will sometimes play this card, either through the mind here or through the family saying, "Are you depressed? Why aren't you working? What's happening?" So these kind of things would come. You see, so it's natural for the mind to play these trump cards. And you're right that it picks up that which is the winning one, no? Which is the winning one. Winning means gets attention and belief. You see? So that is winning for the mind. So because it can play and present any story, it has the skills to present any story. That which has won in the past, it keeps prodding, it keeps poking that one.
Mm.
Usually, of course, it tries to present newer narratives also. But we are generalizing and saying usually it does that. You see? So don't be scared of this. It's been pure grace that life has given you the space to contemplate your reality without the pressures of too much going on in the seeming outside world. So, and if something is needed in this life, then it'll provide the life energy and the opportunities. Everything will be just right. You don't have to worry about these things.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, just in this way, I just wanted to. Yeah, I don't know words. Not yeah, like confirmation. Like yeah, this is right. Just this being here, being in nowhere,
Yeah,
nowhere. This fine. It's okay.
it's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. In fact, it's a great gift that you're giving yourself and life
Mm.
is giving to you. It's very good. Very good. It's very good.
Mm.
The mind will keep saying now what, then what. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay.
Yeah, whatever people say, my mother, father, have to be dependent on someone. Yeah, like these things.
Whatever is actually needed,
Yeah,
even
it's coming by itself. Actually, it's coming by itself, but without working. Just somebody gives or somebody
it's
like a
fine.
mom.
Trust that grace. Trust that grace. It's fine. It's fine.
Mm.
That which is needed will be. given. So our needs are always taken care of. It's our greeds which sometimes don't show up, and sometimes our greeds also show up. So it's a very good deal we have.
Yeah, yeah. Just I'm saying just whatever comes in my mind, because I think it feels like is easy way to remove
Yeah,
trash from the mind.
yeah.
Like what about the self-respect? Yeah, Indian parents, Indian mother, father, yeah, like Indian society. I'm living in Spain. Yeah, yeah, just doing nothing. Yeah, what about? Yeah, they are sad, continuously sad. They're sometimes she cry, my mother cry, like that. Yeah.
All my blessings, all my love to your mom as well, and may she recognize. And you don't have to force her to do any of that. May her heart open up to recognize the great gift that her son is getting, and be really happy for that. Whatever her parental expectations are and things, may uh, they be modulated to such an extent that may they want the highest for their child.
Mm.
All my blessings.
Thank you. This sangha is so amazing. Yeah, it's just like a lot of times I wanted to come in this sangha, but I don't used to feel coming. Just attend and putting same thing in my mind. Yeah, but it feels more right to just come for 10-15 minutes in between and anything, and just yeah, just it just go gives some energy in the right direction. Yeah, whichever is get lost.
Just don't now have any determinations about any of this. Just be empty. Now, sometimes you log in and not log out. Sometimes you log out in 10-15 minutes. I'm not tracking any of this. Just follow your heart. You're absolutely fine.
Yeah, just wanted to confirm, like, just should be I be empty, continue, or just, or I'm confused, or really, yeah, like people, society say hard work or this, and yeah, energy doesn't come. It just feels to be just empty, just like this sitting. That's it. That's good. Thank you.
That which is auspicious, life provides the life energy to the body to allow it to move in that way. When it is not there, it is not there. You can't do anything about that.
Mm.
Speaking in a worldly way, of course.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Rikus.
Hello. Thank you
Hello.
so much. Thank you so much. I just could report something, and please correct me and interrupt me and help me. Yeah, because before I think when I thought that the awareness is apparent,
Yes.
it was often mixed up with an experience. It was really a subtle thing with an experience of emptiness or being beyond or something like this.
Yes.
And a few days ago, there was somehow this click that there didn't came something new in. It was just recognized that it was all the time here, and it was totally no change in experience or perception. It was just that, oh my God, it's so simple.
Yes.
All the time here, and it's nothing to do,
Yes.
nothing new even. Yeah? And since then, of course, it's much more simple. And what I found out last days, or even now, that it's just the thoughts and the belief in the thoughts that could somehow make problems or confuse it. So I don't know if it's right, but if if I'm aware, and then, okay, the thoughts can play along and say, yes, yes, you are aware, all good. Okay, it's easy. And then suddenly it changed. The story changes. And then the thoughts say, oh, is it really like this? Or perception suddenly change more. And then the thoughts say, are you lost it? Or for example, when identification of the person more comes,
Yes. I feel
then
say something about this just
yes,
before.
please, yeah.
So, you said before that the idea you had sometimes is of an empty experience, you see, of that being awareness. Now, if you mean by that as if it is an empty room, you see, then many of us make this sort of error to feel like a dark, empty room or some vast spaciousness, you see, which is actually spatial in nature. We feel like that is awareness, you see. But actually, even in that, what we may call an empty experience, there is still a perception. You may be perceiving darkness. You may be perceiving the absence of light. But so that is not an empty experience. So a truly empty experience is a non-phenomenal experience, is it? Which is your experience, so-called experience of the self.
Mm.
Non-phenomenal, not light, not dark, not big, not small, no time, no space. Only the self is like that. So now you're recognizing this. You're recognizing this, although the mind may keep presenting this imagery to you. You see, saying, the vastness, so broad, because we have the experience of outer space and these kind of things. So it presents these kind of imagery, saying that, okay, maybe we'll buy into that notion of awareness, that image as a notion of awareness, you see, or something like this. But we cannot actually imagine, you see, or perceive an empty experience. Isn't it? When you have an experience without a quality, that would be empty, without an attribute. What is the experience without a quality? Yeah. Blank is also quality, no? Though blank is what? Blank may be like full white, like a blank wall, or full black, like outer space, or something like that. See, like a limbo, see? Or some idea like that, like an abyss or a limbo. But all of these are also quality. You can say black, white, light, big. See? What is an experience which is? I'm going to turn this off for a bit. What is that which is beyond heat and cold, shape and size, all of these qualities? What is that? What is the experience of that? What is the experience of that? That is a truly empty experience. Our conceptual open and emptiness, like our inner open and emptiness, allow us to experience that empty. That empty. That's why when you say, okay, so are you aware now? That you, what can you say about it? How big is it? Say how big it is. Is it cold? Is it old? Is it young? See? Yeah, I can't say these things. See? Then if somebody else was listening to you, they may say, then you have not found anything. See? How can you find something which has no quality? You see? What you do, isn't it? This I is apparent to you, but it has no quality. Who's with me and who's not? You can say. You see? So this empty experience is a beautiful term actually. Empty of all phenomena. You see? Which is not like a dark empty room. If that was it to come to the discovery of awareness, we would make a dark room and say, you come, come inside there. Not a ray of light comes from anywhere. Just look around. That is awareness. Yeah? So don't confuse that to be awareness. Who is aware of the perception of even that? Yeah? What can we say about that one? We have said it is I. See? And that is very irritating for the mind, probably. It's probably very irritating to the mind. I say, who is aware of the perception of this hand? Grudgingly, you may say, I. I can't deny it. I have to say, I. Sometimes you say, I don't know who. But even that you say, I. I don't know who. It is I, but I don't know who that is. You said that, no? It is I, but I don't know who that is. Then how do you say it is I? You must be knowing who that is to call it I. So it's so naturally I that you can't help it. So absent of any experiential confirmation, any perceptual confirmation, any conceptual confirmation, it is available. I mean, to say available is too small a word. Who is that one that is aware of hearing this voice? Who is that one? Who is that? It's you, isn't it? The same one is aware of the sensations that we call body. Same one, no? Same one is aware of the perceptions that we call body, thought, imagination, memory, all these sensations. Same one. But that same one our head cannot know. And the seeker is basically that head trying to know. The head cannot know and you cannot not know. Now, when you represent yourself as your head, you are seeking. But you cannot not know. Agreed that the head cannot know? Agreed or no? How many are still trying to squeeze it in their heads? What does that look like? No, nobody feels like. So nobody feels like I'm trying to squeeze it in my head. But I'll give you an example of what that sounds like. When you say, "I'm trying to understand," I'm trying to come to the final understanding. Yeah? How many are trying to come to the final understanding? It sounds very glamorous. Final understanding, anyone? Nobody? Thank you. Thank you. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. It's not possible. Understanding is too small, final too big. See? Forget about it. Not going to happen. See? How many of you are trying to get it all straightened up in your head? All straightened up in the head. See? It's few. Thank you. So it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. And you don't need to, because you can speak from your heart. You can express from your heart. So you don't need to get it all straight in the head. Do the masters sound all straight in the head? No master sounds all straight in the head. 1 minute they'll say left, left, left. Next minute they'll say right, right, right. The next minute they'll say round, round, round. Nothing is straight about any master. Okay. No, it's like full of contradictions, full of confusion. And the head gets fully ready to be given up if the master is pointing strongly enough. You see? We are ready to give up on our head after some time. So Is it?
Could I ask something to
Yes.
this?
Sorry, I went on this monologue.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really helpful. Till now, what I have is that, yeah, when the thoughts, like the doubt thoughts come, and the thoughts that say it's not there, you're on the wrong path, and the mind who tries to kick me out, then awareness is somehow there, but it's somehow more difficult to see, and much more easy when the thoughts saying yes, 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 you're, you know, it work, and somehow like this. And that's why I can't really say that I'm independent from the head somehow.
Yes, 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 yes. It feels like it is some effort for some time to become. It feels like some effort because if you have relied on one hand for all the work, is it?
Mm.
All the work for many lifetimes, maybe we've relied on one hand to do everything. Then, and we feel like that's all there is. Then somebody comes and says, "No, no, leave that. You don't have to put in all this hard work. Your being is very immense. All is already taken care of. Don't have to worry about any of this stuff." Then you feel like, but what am I supposed to do with this hand? Is it? Nothing. Leave it. Leave it. No, no, but okay, should I leave it to the hand? Should I leave it in the hand? But am I holding something in the hand? So it all becomes so central. You see, our conceptual conclusions become so central to us that when we said, okay, leave it, you're fine without it. You're doing just fine. Don't bother with it. You see? And in satsang, by the way, you're told that there's another hand which is actually has been doing all the work anyway. You see, which is the divine intelligence of intuitive insight. The Sadguru presence has been doing all the work anyway. You see, so see. So effortlessly everything is happening. See like that. You see, but then okay, but I can't see it from there because this has become so central. So for some time it will seem like effort, like the switch over will seem like it is some effort.
Mhm.
That's fine, and that's fine. It's natural in a way.
So,
I think at least you notice that is very good.
mm, mm, mm. So
Most
when,
most will actually believe that the mind is their true voice. Most of humanity believes the mind is the true representative of themselves. In fact, they may not feel like it's a voice at all. At work, one time I was telling a friend many years ago that that is just all. What is the voice in your head saying? So she said to me, "You have voices in your head. There's something wrong with you, you know." So because that seems so natural that it's me. You know? It's not the voice of the ego or the mind. We feel like that's me. So even to come to this point where you can notice that it's just a bundle of constructs, message constructs uh, that we call the mind or the head. It's not my reality. Itself is a great gift already.
mm,
Sometimes I feel like telling all of you that don't be so, you know, so meek in the sense that it's just a thought. It's a thought. You have God. The ego is just made up of thought. You know, God. God is your presence. God is your presence. See? All the ego has is thoughts. God is your light. Conscious being is your light. What must you be? What must you be? What is your location? What is your position? What is your life? These universes are like bubble gums for you. You see? You blow them up, you enjoy them, then you spit them out. No? They're like bubble gum for you. What must you be? God wakes up in your heart and goes to rest in your heart. So it is impossible that a tiny aspect of your being, which is just a bundle of thoughts, can never produce something which can hold you by the neck and say, come, follow me. You have to. Even if it is saying, I'm not doing this. I'm your friend. I'm a nice guy. Don't believe Ananta. I'm not doing any of this. It's just energetic. You are suffering energetically. But you who? Who is the you that is suffering energetically? Who is the you for whom you report that the mind is so strong? Who is you? There's a big difference. I'm trying to find the words to talk about how magnificent you are. The mind is telling you, nah, all this is poetry. You're just little old me. All these are just poetic notions. It's not true. That's what the mind is saying. And it paints you as this tiny object, measly grain of sand, which has no reality. It's just a dream between birth and death. And it paints you as that. What is it saying? It is saying that what the sages have told you about yourself is all just beautiful poetry. You are actually this. So first you sort out this stuff, then we can talk about birth of universes in your heart and all that later. See? Don't fall for these tricks. Meet yourself right now as your reality. Everything else will be taken care of. Meeting your reality as what you are is not denial, it is acceptance. To see yourself as something that you're not is denial. To give power and belief to something that you're not is denial. So don't inquire with a preconceived notion of a somebody inquiring. Okay? Because your insight in your discovery, then you will keep applying to this stuff, this bunch of food. It is not the body which is in the exploration or finding itself. The body is just the body, it's fine. You don't have to equate everything that you're finding as if you, the body, are finding something. Allow yourself to be unlocatable in this world. Allow yourself to be unlocatable in this universe. Have we gone like too much now? Too much? Can you allow yourself to be without a reference, without a location? That's it. That's freedom. You will perceive sensations, but is that perception inherently loaded with the notion of me? My submission to all of you is that in the pure perception of those sensations, you are not identifying as somebody with a location. So allow the sensations to play out. You have no need for them to start or to stop. They don't have a conclusion about what you are. They're just movements on the screen of consciousness. Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Himamshu.
Namaste, Ananta-ji.
Namaste, my dear. Namaste.
This is my first time I'm online.
Himamshu. No, am I reading that right?
Yeah.
Perfect. Very well.
So, I have been reading to various masters and met Guruji also in 2016 once. So, and this journey is continuing. And earlier I thought that through some meditation techniques, I will be able to reach that space. Then after hearing Guruji and other masters like Ramanna, Papaji, I came to know that I was duping myself. That thing is very deep, something very subtle and deep. So this journey in which I feel very thirsty for this attainment of things. And now after this, whenever I meet some master, I hear Satsang, like I'm still hearing you. I reach to a place unknown to me. I feel that silence. I feel that something is apart from me. But most of the time, I feel plugged in this world outside sensation, my world, I can say my bubble. When I meet people, persons, different personalities, I always try to unplug myself and to touch that thing. But when I am in the zone of masters, I automatically come to that place. It's such a, I cannot hold of it, but it's such a subtle thing that I can palpably feel that there is something apart from this body and something is there. So relaxing, so peaceful. When I hear Guruji and other masters, when Papaji is just his laugh, his laughing takes to that place. But when I go to my work, when I go to places, I meet persons, I feel myself plugged in that. So my question is, it's very difficult now coming because I want to come out of this, but I don't know at that time how to step on. What should be the symbol of that time, which I can remember some symbol or something so that I can come to that space. In which I very easily I lose that when I move outside. I remember And then yesterday night I was in a party and I was seeing my friends all were in the dancing, and I see that these bodies will be gone after 50 years. Maybe they are young now, but how can I, in those conditions, when how can we stay in that innocence, we can say. And that's my question. That is the how to take this journey in a very impersonal way. That means actually I want to resign from this name and form actually, but I'm not getting a way out of. I have read, because I read Buddha for last 3 days. There is one book, uh, Conquest of Suffering by Dr. P.J. Sair. So
What is
when I read that,
the conquest of
Conquest,
suffering?
Anji, by P.J. Sair, it is one of the Advaita book.
Achha.
And I read it and I thought that I will read for 5 minutes and I will start studying for my curriculum. And then for last 3 days in the library, I was just studying that book. There are 3 chapters only. And whenever I read that book whole day in the library, I was feeling that peace, that it's like a blanket over me.
Yeah.
I cannot leave that studying that book, because always it is coming like, and it is such a theoretical book. It's no diagrams, nothing is there, but that peace always encompasses me.
Yeah.
I can feel, and I want to be in that peace actually. That's when TJ is saying that there is suffering. You should understand there is suffering. You should do neti neti. You should come out of this body sensation, pleasures. What is desire? How to come? And then I feel what is every master is saying that thing. So they must be wrong. I am always I am always wrong, and they must be true, because from Nanak everyone is saying this thing, same thing. You are also saying same thing. So how to come to that?
Yes.
So there I am perplexed actually. That is my only query. And very much thank you for everything you have given me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful start to our interactions. Very nice. I enjoyed hearing you very much. So let's just start in a very simple and innocent way. You made this very beautiful report, and I could resonate with many parts of that report as well. You mentioned a few things, saying when I go there, when I go here, when I go to a party, or when I go to Satsang, you see, then sometimes you also said, I wonder whether I am right, or I wonder whether they are right. And they must be right because they are gurus, they are sages. I'm just little old me, so how can I be right? So you mentioned this I in a few different perspectives. Now, is that I something that you're taking yourself to be seriously, or just to report or to present a question you're using that I?
No, actually I am saying from just for reporting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So now, if that I is just for reporting, to set some context to the conversation, what can you say about the truer I?
Truer I actually not definable actually. Means if I leave this, then I reach there actually. Very
Yes. So why not leave it? What is the benefit to not leaving it?
means actually I have to interact in this world. That's why maybe, or I have a habit of slugging here so long that.
Yeah. So something from the mind will present that by keeping this, I'm still getting some value. Like
Yes.
without this, you will be like a vegetable. Your friends will want to talk to you, but all blah, 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 blah will come out of your mouth. Because without mind, you cannot communicate. No? And yet, so many come to satsang where the instrument is sharing that all these words are not coming from the mind. They're coming from the heart or from intuition. You see, all the masters have said this. So apparently communication can happen from a different intelligence. It doesn't need this kind of egoic separation to be believed in. You see, it doesn't have to be the voice which presents the ideas of coming and going and right and wrong for communication to happen. You see, so try it this way. Try it now this way. Take your time. I have all the time in the world for these kind of experiments. If nothing is coming, we have time, don't worry. But speak only from the heart, don't speak from the head.
It,
Huh?
it comes with mix of both actually.
If it is mixed, you let it go. It's okay. We have time. There's no worry. The mind will put us in a rush. The mind will say something. Kuch to bolo, say something. How many people are watching? How can you just sit quietly? You see? But sit quietly. Bhagwan sat quietly for long, long periods of time. It's okay. You will find yourself untroubled at least. That is the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Unless you get involved in the circus of the mind, you cannot trouble yourself. Unless you buy into its narratives of coming and going, of time and space, of right and wrong, you see, you cannot trouble yourself. Of even seeking and finding. I mean, that is a very oppressive narrative. I mean, imagine the construct of this whole game. All this spirituality is constructed on what? We're seeking something. We're all seeking something. What are you seeking? Ourselves. Even to say, I am seeking myself, you're confirming yourself. So it's like really like that whole old metaphor of dog chasing his tail. We made a movement out of that, like spirituality. See, where did you lose yourself? You must have lost yourself to now be finding yourself. No, and if you are finding yourself, then are there two of you? One is finding yourself and the other will be found. It's full absurdity. You see, it's the most absurd sort of seeking. So, but all of this is in a tiny aspect of your being called the mind. Now, you may call it mind intellect if you want. No? The mind with all its notions and the intellect with all its categories and judgments and rights and wrongs. No? But besides that, what is left of you?
Peaceful peace is there. Right?
Bas, you see, now the seeker is the insistence that I will bring peace to that which can never be peaceful. The seeker is the insistence that the rest of me is peaceful, but I have to bring peace to that which is the war zone anyway. It is designed to be the war zone.
Yes, yes.
It is the play of opposites. You see, and we are trying to make it all coherent and sensible. It is designed to play as if it is opposites. Now we are trying to make it all straightforward, sensible. You see? That's why words of spirituality all sound round. Because they're designed to push you out of this construct of just the mind. Because in the mind, you're saying you want everything all structured, but its very design is full of opposition. So there is nothing of value that you will lose if you stop presenting yourself or taking what the mind is presenting about you to be true. Now, where is the struggle? Where is the finding? Where is the?
Yes. It's very peaceful.
Now, is this peaceful? Because I know the mind will present these kind of notions to you in some time. Is this peaceful something that you are experiencing in time? is it something which you're experiencing phenomenally in time? Or is it the substratum of everything that appears, which is always there?
It's always.
Always there. So can you leave it? Can you leave this aside? Because the mind will tell you it went away after satsang. When talking with Ananta, it was there, but it'll, how do I keep this? Or it'll say it went away. Can it go away? It can seem
No.
it can seem like it went away if you take the mind's representations to be true again. If you enter the war zone and participate in the playground of the fight, then it will seem like things got violent again. The peace seems to be lost.
It's as if I'm sitting in the heart.
Exactly. That heart is the presence of all the masters which you mentioned, which you look up to. All are there only. That is only the one heart.
I think I give more importance sometimes to the upper story of my mind and got lost in it.
Yes. So just stop that. Stop doing that. You spotted it correctly. But as consciousness, it is completely in your power to stop that. Otherwise, all the masters would not have told us to stop it.
Yes. I will practice and report.
Very good. Very good. Very beautiful for the first interaction. Very beautiful. And you're always welcome to come, come up and share your report. Sometimes the mind will stop you and say, no, 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 I'm fine. These kind of things. So just smell for yourself. Just smell for yourself. Like, don't feel that you have to do this by yourself or something like that. Sometimes the mind presents these ideas also of, okay, now you can't either that you can't keep going to, Ananta and ask, or it will say, no, no, now he's given me the thing, now the rest I have to do on my own. It plays all these various tricks to get back to some dominant position. So don't buy into that. Very naturally, in your heart, if you feel like coming up, you are welcome to put up your hand.
Thank you.
Very good, very good. Where are you dialing in from?
I'm from Chandigarh, dialing from Chandigarh.
Very good. Sorry, old school people like me still say dialing in. No dialing, no dialing needed. Very good, very good. Can I go to Joanna for a bit? I haven't heard her for a while.
Hello.
Oh dear. Good.
I don't have something planned to say, but you told me to come up, and a few times maybe I felt no. What you said, like the mind is saying no. I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay to sit, so I did. But and then I was okay, and then in between maybe I haven't been. But yeah, just come up.
Very good, very good. Right. So, what we've been talking about today in terms of the non-phenomenal experience,
Yes.
Is that becoming quite apparent now?
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah, very much. There's been there was like one particular example of something of some situation where it felt really unpleasant, very real, like feeling, thought, everything, and then some in that moment was just that even when something is designed, because you've been saying this so many times about it's designed to feel real, it's meant to feel real.
Yes, yes, yes.
Just stay with something else, like stay calm. And yeah, I don't know, just somehow it was just, it passed. And I felt like an inner strength in some way that I can, you can see everything.
Yes.
It can see everything. It's all observed. So no matter how unpleasant or how real it feels, you can see it.
Yes.
I can see everything. So maybe that's been like, these sticks seem to jump around a bit sometimes, but
Okay.
ultimately, this one just came up quite naturally at that point of even if sometimes it's like there's attention's gone with the thought, and but you can see everything. I can see that attention's gone, or then it's calm, and so I'm not getting so many reactions of like, oh, this thought, you listen to this thought, you
Yeah.
believe this, or and then it starts to go into panicking and like this, and yeah, there's less of.
Very good. Very good. Very good.
Because as you're talking about, and from the conversations too, it's, you can see everything.
Yes.
Mm.
And that you, it sees everything. Can that be seen?
Mm.
I'm not negating anything that you've said. I'm just adding on more.
Yeah, because it's a thought as well. Often is, you can see everything, like
Yes. Yes. But that you which sees everything, that is perceiving. Now, can that be perceived? I just want to make it clear again that I'm saying that you're doing very well. You're doing very well. I'm just seeing if we can walk together to one more step further.
Now I feel like in a moment I'm going to like try to use the mind or something. So stop.
It's good to notice even that.
Yeah, I can see this too. But then don't rest on like, you can see this too. Okay, no, further back, yeah. I'm not sure now, it feels like a block, but then I can see a block, yes.
Okay, very good. So let me see if I can help you with this a little bit. Now the thing is that this I, which is aware of all perception, itself cannot be seen. It cannot be seen. It sees everything, but it cannot be seen as if it is sight. Like when we see things through sight, we hear things through hearing. All these modes of perception do not apply to that. See? Then how do you know it is you? If you can't see it, you just know it in what I would call the heart. You just know it intuitively. So this reality of what you are is not available as sight and is not available as thought, no matter how hard we try to think about it. And yet it is so naturally known in the heart that I am seeing all of this. See, if I told you it's not you, it's Sri Ram who's seeing all this. And I'm talking about not Lord Ram, I'm talking about your husband, Sri Ram.
It's me.
It's you, isn't it? And that is just so clear. Now, in that same place, although it's not really a place, where this is so clear, the rest of our life can be run from there. Which only means that we don't need to make thought-based conclusions about anything which we want to give reality to. Don't need to make thought-based conclusions to anything. Conclusion means we're giving reality to something or belief to something. So that's why I keep asking, are you aware now?
Yeah.
Yes. Now that space, that place where it is apparent that you are aware, it is you that is aware, you can build a house there. Don't build a house anywhere else.
It's not possible anywhere else anyway, because I maybe said before, even though there's still this wanting
Yeah.
to listen to this or to the mind's opinion, and
Yeah.
it's just all a mess anyway.
Yeah.
Anything will start off seemingly like innocent or normal, and it will distort. So anyway, if this is what's happening, it's happening like this. I'm not being given a choice
Yes.
in a way.
Beautiful grace.
Yeah,
Beautiful grace. Yeah.
it's not the most like pleasant at times, but it seems this is the way it's going here. So what, I can't do anything else.
Very good.
And I don't want to really anyway. It's just habit.
Yeah. So happy to hear you today. You sound so much deeply steeped in this heart inside. Sound so deeply immersed in this heart inside. Very, very happy.
This Satsang has been very, very, very nice as well.
Because I remember when you first came, and I don't know whether you said this to me or just an impression I got, it was like you enjoyed being in the presence of Satsang, but what was being shared in Satsang was kind of alien. It was, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
But now the pointers are seeming a little more alive, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Can I go to Shraddha?
Namaste. You know, I just wanted to check in that there wasn't kind of a subtle sense of self hiding out, because as you bring up the I and you point to the I, what comes here, just the language and the sense, is this.
Yes.
This is here. It doesn't come as I, and I just wanted to check in on that.
Yes.
You know.
Sometimes it feels more natural to say like that. Isn't it natural to say like that? Because the I has been the villain of the story in the spiritual story for so long. You see? That it seems like no, this is not that I. You see? This is this. See? And yet, if I was to force you and say, but who is aware of this? So you may actually say, this is aware. It's okay. You see? You may say, this is aware of this. You see? And then I say, okay, but how does it come to you then? And why is it relevant to you?
The feeling is, again, just like here-ness, but not an I. I just don't know if that's like a resistant thing or just a...
It could have become like a conceptual block or something. So let's really look at this. If it's natural, we'll leave it at that. There's no trouble. It's fine. No? So I'm just wondering whether there is an aversion to I, like it's here, but you are not here. Like this is here, but you are not. Is it like that?
No, I'm here.
You are
And
here.
where else is there? There's nowhere to go,
Yes. Yes.
right? I mean,
Now you are here distinct from thisness or here-ness? Are you here distinct or different from this thisness, isness, here-ness, whatever term may seem natural? Are you different from that in some way?
mm-mm.
No, you're not different. No? So how does it matter if you use a synonym? If there's no distinction, it's like saying, um, what is a good synonym? Anyway, we get the point. So
Yay.
if we are saying I, here, and this, we are using synonymously, then we can use any of them.
You just pushed something over when that question came.
It is like a bit of a block gets created in
Yeah,
spirituality,
yeah.
which
And it feels really like, like, yeah.
and again, just to clarify to everyone, we are not talking about how we express ourselves. That can be completely fine. We can say thisness, here-ness, isness, awareness, knowingness, whatever. We can use any of these words. But I'm glad Shraddha came up because she noticed that there's something there. There's something there, which is sort of resisting saying it is I that is aware. It's I. Who is aware of these perceptions? It's I. No? Like, but because the I is much maligned, maybe sometimes in spirituality, or we've used it for some other aspect of ourselves, not the fullness of ourselves. Therefore, it may seem like it is this or it is here, but not I. So good you spotted this sort of law and allowed this conversation to happen in this way.
Thank you. Yeah, everything is sort of flowing in a very beautiful way now. Something just went, yeah, thank
And
you. Gosh.
remember to just be like conceptually be very wrong about things. Don't worry. Maybe this is even more important than what we just discussed.
Mm.
Allow yourself to be conceptually full of rubbish. Because conceptually only be full of rubbish. It doesn't matter. Everything I say is utter nonsense. It does not stand up to any standard of truth whatsoever. But it's just a way of pointing to that. So don't be hard on yourself or don't try to conclude too much. Like that, don't try to conclude whether it is this or that or any of this. Yes. Your head will always be full of nonsense. It doesn't matter. Except that.
Yeah, totally.
Right. That's very good. So then that pressure goes. That, have I understood this correctly, Ananta? Now your question could be nuanced. So your question could actually mean, am I talking about the right insight? Am I looking correctly? Am I recognizing correctly? But many times we are asking, am I saying this right? Now it doesn't matter to me at all if you're saying it right or wrong. It doesn't matter to me. As long as you're looking right, you see? As long as you're looking non-phenomenally, what you say about that, how you express it, doesn't really matter. Sometimes I might dig in to just ensure that you're looking in the right way. You're looking sightlessly, if you can say like that. Then I'm fine. Then you could say I found a pink antelope which was jumping 10 miles in every leap. It doesn't matter to me. It is good words. But if there's something behind those which is trying to point to something, either a desire or a aversion or a feeling of wanting to be right or avoiding being wrong or something like that, then I may want to look at that and clean up that for you a bit. Just be wrong. It's okay. Because this is somewhat like also school conditioning that we can have. That have I got the right answer finally? Have I got the right answer? What is the best way to express this that I'm discovering? Is it this or is it I? This moment to moment it could be different. Sometimes you say I is best, sometimes you say this is best, sometimes you say here is best. Neither of those, then those sounds in themselves don't mean anything.
The question truly rose from the experience. Just
Yes,
wanted to
yes, I see that. I see that.
and totally concepts games have happened here for lifetimes. So
Yes,
I appreciate both
yes,
pointings. Yeah.
yes. I have no doubt about your insight. I have no doubt about your insight. It's that it's when insight is so clear that the mind wants to play these subtle games.
Thank you.
Okay, may I go to Clarissa first?
Hello, Ananta-ji.
Oh my God.
There are very strong forces playing, and my question is how to observe without going into it. I mean, the whole satsang was about this, but it still plays out very strongly, and there are desires and jealousy, and it's in the outer world. It's very strongly coming.
Yes, okay. Okay. So let's see if we can give you some pointers to help with this. Now let's break it down to all the things that are happening. Okay? So when there is a sensation, you see, then we can say that there is a sensation. When there is a thought that comes, which tries to claim ownership over the sensation and say the sensation is desire, then let's notice that thought also. It says, the thought also comes and says that. So let's really bring our looking into very fine-tuned sort of looking. So the mind doesn't create this fog of war. This fog of war, everything seems to get a bit blurry. There are emotions, there are thoughts, there's memories, there's imagination, there is dreams, there's everything is showing up. Then we feel like, oh, you see, like that. But let's really break it down and see, okay, what all is actually here? Is there some shakiness emotionally, some vibration, some sensation? So just keep describing it to me. I don't know if you heard me say this before. Don't explain what it means. Don't explain what it means. Just describe your experience exactly how you are experiencing it as simply as possible.
There is a pain in the heart.
Yes, it's like a pain experience in the heart. Okay.
Then there is also like the throat is like it's. There's also pain in the throat.
Like a constriction or a pain in the throat. There's some pain in the heart and some constriction or pain in the throat as well. Very good. This is exactly what I wanted you to do. Just keep looking like this.
And it's like there is always an controller who tries to see everything.
Now, one second. Now, this part, let's break this down even further. What exactly are you perceiving right now when you say controller?
it's like the mind tries to take the position of
Very good.
the self to see everything.
Very good. Now break it down even further. Like, what is your experience of the mind? Is it as a thought?
It's an I.
What is your
Thought.
experience? What is your experience of this I thought?
It wants to hold the position.
No, no. But what is your perception of this I thought? What is your experience of it?
I don't exactly know what
So just like you said, that there is a pain sensation in the heart region, there's a constriction in the throat region. After that, what you described, just describe it in the same way. You see, what is the exact phenomenal experience of that?
it's like this I wants a certain outcome.
That is an explanation of what it wants. What are you seeing right now? Are you seeing this I as a body, as somebody, as a shape of some sort? And
No,
it's saying with its mouth, I want this. What is the exact experience? Break it down into as small as possible.
it's a strong feeling.
A feeling which is experienced where? Which aspect does it feel?
It's like I can feel it in here.
There's a feeling in your forehead.
Mhm.
What is the experience of the feeling? Is it like a vibrating sensation or a constriction? What is the thing?
It's like the whole. It's like I'm paralyzed.
But that is what is the outcome of it. But can you describe it itself? Like what is it that you're experiencing? What is the taste of it?
Like there is a strong sensation in the body, like it's shaking.
Yes, very, very. So this is what I wanted. So there's a pain in the heart, there's a constriction in the throat, and there's like a shakiness in the body or a shaking experience in the body. Okay, okay, very good. Then what else? And don't have to rush to find anything else. If it is this, then stay in the perception of this without any judgment about what any of these three mean. Are you able to follow what I'm saying? This is important for all of us.
Yeah.
Because we feel like we suffer from these things. See? I'm just pointing you a way where you can experience the taste of these, and you tell me whether it is just being tasted or there is suffering involved. So just allow yourself to just effortlessly perceive all of these perceptions without judging them to be good or bad, without judging whether they should come or go. No, no mental involvement at all. Just in a full acceptance, full perceiving of whatever is being perceived.
It's much lighter now.
Unburdened by our narratives, everything is lighter. Everything is lighter. But keep going like that. Stay in your pure perception. That is the highest healing. If there is healing needed in the world, there is no higher healing possible than just this pure perception. Which means meeting absent of judgment. See, meeting without judgment. You don't have to wait for it to vanish or nothing. You're just perceiving. effortlessly.
And then there are something sometimes I can hear a voice saying something, and this I also should only perceive.
Perceive. Just perceive. Don't get involved in whether the voice is saying right things, wrong things, good things, bad things. Don't judge anything at all. Just perceive.
Am I perceiving from the right position?
You cannot perceive from the wrong position. Don't worry. Don't worry about any of that. Even this, you don't have to judge. one last thing I feel to say is that in this just perceiving or pure perception, is it not apparent to you that you are beyond your perceptions without having to think about it? Is it recognized that you are just one of your perceptions? Or is it apparent that you are beyond these perceptions? So my submission again, and I want you all to just play with this, experiment with this. My submission to all of you is that in this pure perception, in this open perception, just perceiving, the reality of yourself primarily as the pure witnessing, the pure awareness of all this that comes and goes is fully apparent and available. The intellect may try to categorize and say, no, these perceptions are you, and the other perceptions are not you. They are other or the world. But in the perception itself, no such distinction is made. It may also categorize saying these are more intimate, that is less intimate, this is closer, that is farther. But all of these are just conceptual categories. There is no distance in your being. It may actually also say this is bigger, this is stronger, and this is weaker, milder. But these levels don't exist actually in your being. These are all just conceptual categories. For that which is all there is, all pervasive, all powerful, nothing is either this or that, or too much or too little. I feel like this instrument is done for today, so I apologize to those who raise their hands but are not able to come to them. Okay, let's go for today. Play some bhajans. Maybe some energy will come back. Sing or should I play? Radha, you want to sing? The new one? Or any one? I was going to play something by Radha and then I realized she's sitting here.
You can play Radha.
Should I play? I've heard this in a while.
सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एक गोविंद रे एक गोविंद रे सगुण निर्गुण एक गोविंद रे एक गोविंद रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे हनुमानेना 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 गोविंदो रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे तुझ दृश्य म्हणो की अदृश्य रे दृश्य दृश्य एको गोविंदो रे दृश्य दृश्य एको गोविंदो रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ करू म्हणो की निराकारू रे तुझ आकारू म्हणो की निराकारू रे आकारो निराकारो एको गोविंदो रे आकारो निराकारो एको गोविंदो रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ स्थूळ म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे तुझ स्थूळ म्हणो की सूक्ष्म रे स्थूळ सूक्ष्म एको गोविंदो रे स्थूळ सूक्ष्म एको गोविंदो रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले बाप रकुम देवी वरो विठ्ठलू रे निवृत्ती प्रसादे ज्ञानदेव बोले बाप रकुम देवी वरो विठ्ठलू रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे सगुण निर्गुण एको गोविंदो रे एको गोविंदो रे सगुण निर्गुण एको गोविंदो रे एको गोविंदो रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे तुझ सगुण म्हणो की निर्गुण रे
For the Radha singing in the past. One that play most often.
Are you asking for the story has a dependence, task dependency on other. This story, probably, are we planning to get this?
67 तीरथ उन चरणन में पूर्ण होत मनोरथ मन के जो गुरु कृपा करे जो गुरु कृपा करे गुरु की महिमा हरि सो भारी वेद पुराण सब ही विचारी गुरु की महिमा हरि सो भारी वेद पुराण सब ही विचारी ब्रह्मा ध्यान धरे पर छिन में जो गुरु कृपा करे जो गुरु कृपा करे
Thank you all so much for being in Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Baba ki Jai. Sadhguru Sri Muji Jai. Guru Kripa ke